Last month in my 4 things video, one of the 4 things that I wanted to talk about but that I didn't want to talk about was Hamilton. 4 things that I want to talk about but I don't want to talk about. Hamilton. Because I don't know. See? That was the thing I said. It's been about a month and I'm ready to talk about it now. So the reason that I didn't want to talk about Hamilton is because I actually didn't know anything about it. I never bothered listening to the soundtrack, and I never really got involved with all of the hubbubaloo that surrounded Hamilton. And the reason for this is because I have a real problem with musicals. I actually have this dream, this wish that my life will be someday a musical, and that people will just start breaking out into song and choreographed dance. It has been my lifelong dream that I'm starting to realize may not come to fruition. But basically, I am obsessed with musicals. I can remember when I was a teenager, I was completely obsessed with Rent. And of course, Rocky Horror and Little Shop of Horrors were 2 of my favorite films. I know that they're plays first, but I knew them as films. And so when Hamilton came around, I had 2 kids and a full-time job. I knew I couldn't get obsessed. So I decided to keep myself at arm's length and not dive in. That was until one of my more persuasive friends said, "Hey, you should listen to Hamilton." And I was like, "Okay, fine. I'll do it. I'll listen to it." And now I am completely obsessed. So despite my best efforts, it took a year, but I'm there now. And I'm so glad that I am. So really quickly, I'm just going to go over 3 of my favorite songs from the musical soundtrack. My Shot was definitely, I think, the first song that really kind of got me interested. And even though I am not young, scrappy, or that hungry, I feel like the theme of that I don't want to throw away my shot really kind of resonates with where I am in my life right now, and I'm still waiting for my opportunity, and I don't want to throw away my shot. My absolute favorite song is Dear Theodosia, because my God, that song makes me cry like a small child, even though I have small children myself. Because the love that you have for your kids, I think they put it into the best words that you possibly can. I don't think there really are words for the love that you have for and the hope that you have for your children. But that song does a pretty good job of it, and it's adorable, and it's on my daughter's favorites list now, and she sings it to me, which just forget about it. And lastly, I think it's one of my favorite songs, but it shouldn't be one of my favorite songs, but Quiet Uptown just kills me. Just kills me dead. If you haven't listened to the soundtrack, I am not going to tell you what that song is about, but if you ever listen to the soundtrack, you know. And you know why sometimes I can't actually listen to that song. I love this musical. I hope that someday, even if I have to see it in an off Broadway production, I would like to know more of the story, because the soundtrack, as amazing as it is, only tells so much of the story. So it would be nice to know the rest of the story. But I am there now. Y'all were right, and I never doubted you in being right, but I knew it was gonna be a thing, and now it's a thing. But I'm so glad that it is. And so to my friend who finally convinced me, I thank you. You are a good person. You are also a terrible person. But it all works out in the end. And if you have not listened to the soundtrack of Hamilton, I suggest you go and do that now. It is long, but it will change your life for the better, hopefully. Because it certainly did for me. So, yeah, I can finally talk about Hamilton, and I can do so proudly. Alright, we will see what happens next week. And for those of you that watched to the very end, keep your eyes peeled next week. A group of us are rolling out a super awesome project. It's gonna be good, so keep your eyes peeled.